up with this couch? It seems like I need some WD-40 up in here. I every second, every minute. What's good, YouTube family and friends? How's everybody been doing? Welcome back to That Life 84. Welcome. So it has been a long time that I have not been on here. I think the last time I was on here, I did a packaging opening. That was the last video that I did. So I do have a story to tell and everything else. So I'm trying to make this story like short, sweet, such and such, and I'm trying, to make it short. So I might forget some things and everything else, but other than that, I'm trying to make this video short and my story short as well too. First, before I start my story off, I just want to say thank you to the people that are still subscribed to my channel. I thank you. I appreciate you. Love you and everything else. Thank you for sticking around and everything. I know I had people hitting me up talking about, when you gonna make some more videos and stuff like that. I don't think that my videos, like, they alright, they okay, but I like making videos, and even if I don't get people to like it and stuff like that, it's something that I enjoy to do. So now off to my story. Let's rewind all the way to 2020. So in 2020, the whole pandemic happened and everything else, and things were shut down around, that time, whatever. And around that time, I was homeless. So, all the videos that y'all see and everything else, I was homeless at the time. So, that would, help me with, because at the time I was struggling. I was really struggling. I was living in my car with my dog, and, I became depressed. It was just a lot that was going on, especially you're not used to living that way or whatever, but, things, came about, and I know you're probably saying, like, well, how come you couldn't live with family or friends? Me, some of my family, we wasn't getting along with each other. And then, I have other people that would say that their house was full, that basically, if their house wasn't full, that basically, me and CL could have came. Or I have other people that would say that basically, you just need to get rid of the dog and everything else. The dog just holding you back from such and such and whatever. But I think it's like, I had CL ever since she was a puppy. And my thing was like, she's not giving up on me and I'm not giving up on her. So we're going to rock this homeless thing and this struggle out together. Like, I'm trying to tell you, it was a struggle. I even became depressed because I even had my locks in my hair. And I had my locks in my hair for 5 years. 5 years I had my locks in my hair. And do I regret taking them out? I sure do. I regret taking my locks out, but I was depressed at the time and I didn't know where to turn or anything. It was just a difficult time for me and for most people. So yeah, so let's fast forward to 21. I was still living in my car and also a hotel and stuff like that. So in between the two, because hotels could become expensive or whatever. I end up finding another job. I end up doing Instacart, and then things were kind of opening up. That basically my main job started opening up, so I was working 2 jobs, and trying to make ends meet and whatnot. I end up going, looking for apartments and stuff like that, and it always gotta be always something with the credit score. And I tried to fix that and everything else, and nobody didn't get back to me. And then I filled out for this one place, and the guy hit me up talking about they ain't had nothing available. That basically, he would send me back my application feedback, and I was like, okay, so it was a struggle from 2020 to 21, and it was hard. But like I said, you know, my videos that I have on here, I was homeless. Still in 21, the guy hit me back up again. And I was like, why is this guy hitting me back up again? He already told me that there was no apartments, you know. He hit me up and he was like, you're approved. You're approved for apartments. So I guess somebody must have moved out and whatnot and such. And they said I was approved. So I was like, that was nothing but God. Through this whole thing, it was nothing but God. Nothing but God. And, you know, it's not the best place and anything like that, but I'm so grateful and I appreciate it and stuff like that because it's a blessing. I was going to start doing videos again, but a lot of things was happening, you know, working the 2 jobs and not having the time to do this and that, whatever. And, you know, just enjoying the new apartment and everything. Around that summertime, whatever, when Hurricane Ida came, that night of that, you know, hurricane, my mom called me up that night and told me that my mama passed away, which is my grandmom that passed away. And, you know, it was just like, you know, depression hitting me again. Like, you went from being depressed and struggling, and then you end up, things start turning around for you, and you're good, and then next thing you know, your 99-year-old grandma passed away. And that was a hard pill to swallow, that basically she passed away. Like, that night, I feel as though I died myself, and that basically my soul has just lifted out my body, and that my world has just shattered into pieces. And, you know, and then also I even lost my car during the flood because everywhere was flooded and stuff like that. It was just horrible, like really horrible around that time. And it was like a struggle and depression. And then my partner at the time, 3.5 years, basically we went our separate ways. You know, that's a long story and whatnot. Fast forward to 22, things were like coming about, you know, things were uplifting. I ended up being like depressed even more than I normally am, because, you know, my grandma just passed away, and, you know, I never had, like, it's hard to explain, like, it's like I never, like, my mama was my only mama that was in my life. And not only, but, you know, that grandmother that was, you know, there and stuff like that. And it's just like, she was part of me and everything else. And, you know, part of my heart has been taken away. And, you know, to this day, I always think, even though, let me tell you this, my mom's mother name was Ida. The hurricane name was Ida. I feel as though her mother came and got her. Like, that's like, you be like, huh? Like, that's how I feel. Like, she came and got her child. But in 22, you know, it was okay. I ended up meeting new people, having new friends and stuff. Still living in an apartment and whatnot. But in July of 2022, I ended up losing my sister. And it was just like, you just lost your grandmother, now you lose your sister. And, you know, I would never think that I would lose, you know, any of my siblings, because I always thought that we're gonna grow old and be arguing and everything else and whatnot, or, you know, talking about God and so much more and stuff like that. And, you know, that was a difficult time and everything else, and especially when you had to, you know, get your sister cremated and everything else. And, you know, that was a hard thing. It was just 23. There was some things that happened, but you know, you go through things. Then 24 of this year, my dad's mom passed away. I know my cousin passed away in December of last year, and then my dad's mom passed away of this year, and then a few of my friends that I knew ever since kindergarten all the way to high school, and so friends that I knew or people I worked with, you know, I have to say I have been to like at least 12 funerals this year. 12. Taking the time out for myself today's day to overcome what I'm going through, and you know, like the person I was dealing with and everything else, basically, you know, yesterday we decided to just go our separate ways, you know, and you know, because it was just becoming toxic, and I just thought to myself, you know, you're going to cry, you know, you're just going to be on this emotional roller coaster and everything else, and I just thought to myself, I'm going to go and make me some videos. I mean, like all through these years, I wanted to make videos and stuff like that, but it's just that it was just like a bump in the road of even trying to do that, and you know, losing people, you know, it just take you a whole nother level and stuff. But I'm hoping I basically explain my story well, because I'm not trying to make this video long. And once again, I thank you for sticking around, and stay tuned for the next video. And only thing I have to say, one thing is that basically let's fix you up. Let's try again.